This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked!
I am Ray Taylor.
I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself.
Right.
I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about?
And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast.
I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off and UFC?
What's up, everybody?
I think you can all see again that the trophy is back where it belongs.
I mean, for the new listeners and watchers, it's been a long run for me to have the trophy, and it's very unique that Keith would actually win.
It was nice.
You know, so no, as many months I had the run going.
That's 2 months before that.
For our new listeners, it's been months and months and months where I have not lost at all.
They can go back through on YouTube and watch in order.
Deleted. Sorry. I got the key to the kingdom. So I'm wearing the fucking orange hat again. And as pretty much all of our picks, not necessarily picks, but how they shake out.
Always comes down to the last fucking fight.
Always is crazy because you went on a fucking run. It was, we're getting all of our picks until LaFleur got knocked the fuck out. And you went on a run, and then I had to go on a run.
And then it came down to the last fight.
Which, could have gone better for me.
We're talking about the WEIDMAN GASTELUM Fox card.
That's right. UFC Fight Night, Saturday, July 22nd.
Yesterday, or
2017.
whatever day this comes out.
Yeah. This comes out tomorrow.
Okay. 2 days ago.
From Long Island, New York. Headlined by Chris Weidman, Kevin Gastelum. So let's start from the bottom.
This is one of the 4 big Fox cards a year, right?
Sure.
No, I think they only do 4 actual Fox cards.
Yeah. They have a certain amount that go on Fox, I'm sure. A certain
and
amount
most
on
go
FS1,
on FS1
or FXX or F. I mean, they bounce them around. Just like I remember trying to watch. Just any sports on TV back in the day is like, oh, now broadcast is switching over to ESPN2.
Yeah, I don't even have that channel.
Like,
awesome, fuck you.
Yeah, and it's like all the programming gets shuffled around. It's horrible.
We didn't have FXX back home.
Yeah, I never had cable when that
new.
existed. I don't even think FX existed when I had cable.
It did when I had cable, but then they brought in FXX and we didn't get it, and then they would like start something or just move a whole, like I used to always watch It's Always Sunny. Moved it to FXX.
Yeah, they did that with pretty much all of their, like, those shows. The League. And I think Louis went
and
there,
people
too.
Couldn't fucking find them.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to sell a new network for some reason because they have so much amazing content. They can't just fit it all on. Yeah, I don't know. It's been, like, there's a few years, and then probably a decade ago was the last time I've watched regular cable, aside from, like, hotels and shit. So starting off with luckily Fight Pass, don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah.
We just get annoying screensavers when commercials are going. Yeah. So the first fight of the card, Frankie Perez versus Chris Wade. I picked Wade in this one.
Yeah. And I thought Wade was going to win it too. Just smothered him.
Yeah, it was definitely just out-grappled him, controlled the fight. Not a whole lot of this fight took place. Like, 2 solid rounds were grappling.
Yeah, over 10 minutes. Yeah. So over 2 rounds were someone controlling someone else.
Yeah, so it was grappling heavy, but Chris Wade definitely. And Perez, they were talking about Perez. I guess they had fought before, and he's like, Wade hasn't gotten better, and I've gotten better. And but I guess not good enough to stop the takedowns. But yeah, so Wade wins it.
So you're
decision.
Up 1-0.
Moving on to the second fight of the night, Shane Burgos versus Godofredo Pepe.
Now I picked Burgos in this one because Pepe's just been spotty at best.
Pepe's style has been exposed, and he's done nothing to fix it.
No.
But he did have moments in this where he's throwing these wild haymaker overhands, and they're landing.
Which you would have thought would have had more on them, being the way he threw them.
But not really, because they didn't look. He was just winging them.
It
wasn't
it's
formed.
like limp arm.
Yeah, he was just casting his
just
fist.
throwing.
So I
like,
wasn't
with
that
his whole
surprised.
Body, but it
I
was
was
like the arm
surprised.
went dead in midair and just like boop.
He has horrible technique, and he was just winging shit because he was losing. He couldn't do, like, he did the one thing that's the most annoying thing, where, he clearly wants to be on the ground,
so he
just
kept
lays,
there.
finds every excuse to lay there. Yeah, and
I thought he should
that
have
was
been
annoying.
warned for stalling, but
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But Burgos picked him apart. Good on Burgos.
Yeah, I mean, there were moments where Pepe was starting to land and rocked Burgos a couple times. So Burgos means, he looked great, but didn't finish it, and got hit by a guy that's just throwing.
I don't think
stupid
Burgos
shit.
is lost yet, though. So
probably not. He did look good.
Yeah.
His boxing was great. He was able to avoid a lot. But yeah, Pepe. It makes sense. He's on a fucking Fight Pass prelim. You know, he hasn't moved up the fight cards as recognizable as he is in a fucking early Fight Pass prelim. So next fight, Timothy Johnson versus Junior Albini, and that was my pick. He was at the time a shadow person.
Yes, he was.
And I think he's either unbeaten or only has one loss. Does he even have a thing?
He does not have a Wikipedia yet.
Well. But he does have a very recognizable look to himself.
Giant fat body with little baby head.
Yeah, it looks like a 12-year-old's head was put onto his body, and it's awkward looking.
Maybe the biggest thighs I've ever seen on a human.
He's just like all around. Like his arms are thick. I mean, he used to be 360 pounds or some shit.
Fucking 13 years old.
Yeah.
So fat fucking kid.
Brazilian, and he was constantly
good kicks.
He constantly trying to fix his shorts throughout the fight.
He must have lost a little bit too much weight for this or something.
But yeah, and Johnson was doing all right in the fight. He was landing a few.
He ran in,
had
a nice rush right at the beginning. And I thought, all right, here
had
we
him
go.
up on the cage for a bit. Wasn't really able to do anything with it. But then Albini, once he got, he was landing combos.
Yeah, once he had space,
hard combos
those
too.
leg kicks and then the combos.
Yeah.
And it was good on him. Excited. Johnson was ranked 12th, so
one of the few new prospects, new heavyweights that we've seen. That's like, oh, I'm interested to see him fight again.
Yeah,
for sure. Because Johnson was one of those guys, kind of. It's like, oh, he looked kind of good.
Maybe
didn't look horrible.
Maybe
in this,
give
but
him Chase Sherman next. We'll get to that fight later.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. All right, moving on to.
So yeah, now you're up 2-1.
2-1.
We were
on our picks. Yeah. And there was no late replacements. Oh no, there was one fighter that was, but no canceled fights or no shuffled card. Everything was in order. Brian Kelleher versus Marlon Vera.
Cheeto, good on Cheeto with this one.
Did you pick this one? Yeah, you picked this one.
Yeah, I did.
And I was okay with Kelleher, even though it's only his second fight.
Vera has looked good recently.
Yeah. Kelleher's first fight in the UFC was a KO.
Yeah.
Over
or submission. We looked it up.
Right. It was probably submission.
It was
I think.
Quick submission.
Against your mom. Fucking.
He doesn't even have a wiki either, Brian.
Oh, I fucking clicked on the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But Kelleher rushed Vera against the fence, had him pressed up. Vera reaches down, grabs
it's pretty competitive striking, but once he got a hold of the wrist,
was it
the arm
Kimura, a standing Kimura?
No, he had the wrist, and he was using it to not get taken down.
He had it wrapped, and then he was going for the Kimura with it.
It was once he was pulling
for
the takedown
into the armbar.
He had that in case Kelleher was taking him down. Once Kelleher went for the trip, then he pulled the Kimura. They spun around like a little ballerina, and then ended up against the cage on the ground. He transitioned that to an armbar. And Kelleher verbally tapped pretty quick.
It was very quick. It was hard to see from the first angle, but it was.
I mean, he could have popped something while trying to defend.
Yeah.
But it was gonna happen. It wasn't like
No, it wasn't like a quick tap.
because he had that wrist for.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a solid move.
Yeah.
It was a cool move. But yeah, still interested to see Kelleher. But Vera,
Yeah, it was a quick first round stoppage.
good win, submission.
Yeah. Then the next one we got.
The feature bout for the Fight Pass prelims. We have ourselves Jeremy Kennedy versus Kyle Bochniak, Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. And this was another grappling dominant performance. I mean, he had fucking almost 12 minutes of control.
He was just
and
dominating
it was
him.
work. It was like, you know.
He wasn't doing
none
devastating
of this
shit on the
grappling
ground,
that
but
we've
he
seen.
was working the whole time.
Yeah, because the other guy was trying to get up, so it was a constant battle. It's like, can I keep him down? Versus, like, the boring grappling where it's like, just lay and pray or hold him on the
you as
fence.
tight
and
as I can.
No movement for, like, ever. But, yeah, there was a lot of, like, the grappling was intense and legit.
Yeah.
The Pepe shit was the only annoying,
You're
which
kinda
wasn't
laying on the
grappling,
ground.
but...
He wanted to grapple.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty dominant performance from Kennedy. He kind of got clipped at the end there, you know?
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's
it
just
was super dominant. You know,
Bochniak.
he could have been
throwing
tired.
Everything at the end, knowing he
True.
had to try to knock him out.
Yeah.
But I guess these two talked a little shit before this fight. So
Sure. It was a good fight.
yeah,
I mean, you know, it was one-sided fight, but it was entertaining. It was competitive. So moving on to the first fight of the Fox prelims, Chase Sherman versus
Gorilla.
Damian Grabowski. I guess Sherman, they said he was training with John Jones a little bit for this camp.
He showed
had
some eye pokies. Hand movement.
He had
he looked great though.
Winklejohn in his corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked
Combinations. He did run out of gas a little bit at the end.
Towards the end, he got a little gassed for sure. But yeah, he was a lot more measured, not brawling. Shut this. I guess this other guy, his chance was to go to grapple. He wanted to grapple too, but he couldn't, like, at no point could he even get in for. So he did even have attempts. Five attempts.
Tried 5 times.
So it's like that was his one thing, and it was completely shut
But
down.
yeah, Sherman wouldn't even like.
He never had it close.
He would just like shove him
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And
I
then
think it was because he was keeping him on the outside too much.
nice
to
jab,
where
nice
good
low
counters.
Kicks. He was really
Yeah.
beating his leg up, and at one point you could see Grabowski like physically grimace
Yeah.
or like when he got kicked in the leg again.
Yeah.
But you know, just a solid decision win. Landed almost twice as many punches.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good performance from Sherman. He is looking better.
Looking better.
So he's getting there. I don't think he should be fighting top 5 or anything yet, but it's like,
But yeah, let him
interesting.
fight that Albini kid. Dude.
Sure. That would be interesting. That'd be crazy. All right, moving on to the second fight.
I had Sherman in that one.
Yeah.
So again, we're
This is
100%
where
on our picks.
This is where
to
things
now.
change. Yeah. Ryan LaFleur versus Alex Oliveira.
Alex, you're too happy. You need to be more serious.
Yeah.
Oliveira.
I mean, he did lose the first round, but it was, he didn't like look horrible.
He just got dominated grappling wise, and LaFleur really didn't do anything when he was on top of him.
Yeah.
Look at the total strikes.
Yeah. Well, they hit each other the same amount. It's just that second round ended pretty well. I guess
I feel like all his strikes were all of Oliveira's strikes were in the second round.
the second round is where he came out, and the two things when somebody's going for takedown, usually double leg, you see him do a knee to counter or an uppercut, and he had that hand low and locked and loaded.
He fights low hands all the time.
Sure,
anyway.
but but he wasn't like. He was not way less movement. It wasn't like he was ready. He was tight circles. Let's do this, and just ended his life with an uppercut. Coming in for a
just walked away.
Coming in for a takedown.
But it was funny. I mentioned the too happy thing because Brian Stan during the commentary just totally shit on him like for being happy.
It's like just because he wasn't able to get up from the takedown doesn't mean that his attitude going into the fight was too jovial.
Well, he goes, in between the round, he's laughing. He just posed for a picture. Look at him he goes, I don't think he's mentally in this fight anymore.
Yeah.
Literally 20 seconds after he said that,
Just flatline.
Ryan LaFleur's fucking dead body's laying in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Brian Stan. LaFleur's all business, so he's gonna win.
I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of Stan.
I don't mind
But
Stan, but that was just something stupid.
I think it was because he's matched up with Dominic, who likes to just come up with shit that's not even happening in the ring.
Dom did disagree with him on that. He was like, I don't think he's out of the fight because he's. Yeah.
But then Stan started doing like this, like talking about things that aren't even happening in the fight, like how horrible Oliveira looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he really didn't look bad. It's just he got out grappled.
LaFleur didn't land anything on the ground. He just grappled him for 4+ minutes.
He lost a round. Okay. Come back, change it up. Did exactly what he needed to do in the second round.
Boom.
All right. Yeah. I was.
It was just goofy.
I'm not a fan of this 3-man.
I wanted to
fucking
rub it
bullshit.
I just wish I had his text him, be like, out of the fight, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I lost that one. I picked LaFleur.
Woo! First,
but
wrong
Oliveira's he's off and on, so it's like he was on for sure.
Yeah.
Rafael Natal versus Eric Anders.
Now it was supposed to be Di Chirico.
Yes.
Versus Natal.
Yes.
So coming into this, Anders' first fight in the UFC.
Mm-hmm. Former NFL.
No.
Or
he
just
played
college football?
College football.
Yeah.
He played for Alabama. He was a starting linebacker, and then he went and played in the Canadian Football League for a little bit.
So from the football
From the foosball, yes.
Sports side of where fighters come from.
And this kid's explosive.
For sure. Yeah, it was.
I don't know what the rest of his skill set is, but
also once the fight started and Natal starts getting punches thrown his way, his hands are down and his head's up, and I was like, I'm just like, he's gonna get fucking knocked out. Yeah. It was just a matter of time before this asshole gets knocked out, and he got knocked out, and
he's been fighting like that for a while and been getting knocked out.
Horrible. And
recently.
This is the guy that's gonna knock you out, and he clearly
reminds me of. I mean, I know this is only what is this? This isn't light heavyweight. This is middleweight. Yeah, middleweight.
Right.
He reminds me a lot of the big black guy that Schaub fought at heavyweight. They got popped for steroids, but LeVar
that narrows
Johnson.
It down. Everybody that Schaub fought.
LeVar Johnson.
Right. Right.
Just a big muscular dude who was going to come in there and knock you out. That's what he. Yeah. That's all he did.
Although, which we don't know if he has a gas tank. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about this.
Maybe you wear him out for a little bit.
They did say in the broadcast that one of his last fights was a 5-rounder. So he fought all 25 minutes of it. I don't know. He could have been dead the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, but we've seen 5-rounders where like both fighters take 2 rounds off.
Didn't Roy Nelson fight a 5-rounder?
Sure, but I mean, there's like in shape guys that have taken 2 rounds off. Where it's just nothing happens.
But I had picked Di Chirico.
Yeah.
Anders knocks out Natal in the first round, so that still gives me the win.
Yeah, I was not happy. This is not good. So moving on to the feature bout for the Fox prelims, which is also fight of the night. Lyman Good versus Elezu Zaleski dos fucking Santos.
Yeah, that was
Zaleski dos Santos.
You got the dos
I read
Santos.
it first. The last when we made our picks, I read it good. I'm mentally exhausted today, so,
so you and me both.
it's coming out a little bit tougher, but for sure, when I was watching the fights again, I made sure not to look at the thing. I mean, so many of the fights I forgot who I had, and I thought that fight was a controversial thing, but then it ends up being what I scored it watching it the second time. And this one, I thought, I mean, it was a split decision. Clearly could have gone either way.
Could have.
Super competitive. They both traded a bunch of shots. It was just, I think grappling may have.
I think you argued with me on this one last night. I'm like, I think he won, and you're like,
it was close.
No
as fuck.
fucking way.
I don't. I think
he should not have got 230-20 or Was that that's a different?
No, that's the Sherman one. It's oh yeah, he got 230-27.
Yeah,
so.
he should not
No,
have
no,
got 230.
he lost the second round.
Yeah.
I think he lost the second round, and then it's.
And the other rounds could have won either way.
For sure, I think
The last round he won.
It was close. It was fucking close. The whole thing. So it was great fight. Got fight of the night. Looking forward to both of these. I mean, they were throwing. It was a combination of, I mean, not a whole lot of grappling, but they were at least going for. I gotta stop getting hit.
Yeah,
as much.
We tie up for a second. All right.
Great fight. Looking forward to both of those guys.
You picked good.
Yeah.
So I got that's 4 in a row for me. I only need one more. There's 4 fights left. This happens a lot.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, you got to win
Now I
out.
gotta run. Yeah.
And then
Jimmy Rivera versus. For some reason, I thought Thomas Almeida won last night. So when I was watching it again, I was like, "There's no way he won." I mean, it's like, yeah. It's Jimmy Rivera versus Thomas Almeida. And I was like, oh, he did win.
I picked Almeida in this one.
And Rivera coming off the win against Uriah on his retirement fight.
Yeah.
Solid, like, as far as body types, you got, like, the swimmer versus the fucking just pit bull. And it was a great fight. Almeida turned it up a little bit in the second round.
Yeah.
But I think he lost the first and third.
Good back and forth, but I definitely...
He got dropped twice in the first. The best moment he had in the second, he dropped Rivera. But I think Rivera probably did more, but I'd give Almeida that because he did drop him once.
And
then the third round, I think, was
one of the judge
pretty
gave
dominant.
him a 30-26
for
Rivera.
Right. Well, I think the first round could have been a 10-8 because he dropped him twice, legit dropped him twice. So that could have easily been a 10-8. And I could see him winning the second round. I mean, he did get dropped, but he wasn't able to do anything off of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't as...
Rivera was pretty dominant in this.
Yeah. He looked great.
Almeida, is this his second loss in a row? He was undefeated, and I feel like this might be his second in a row. If it's not,
Pettis
he won, lost
right?
one. There, one, lost one.
So Garbrandt KO'd him. He beat Morales, and then just lost. But I mean, so
he's losing to
tougher
good guys,
competition. Yeah, it's just what are you gonna do? But yeah, good win for Rivera. Definitely looking forward to him in the bantamweight divisione.
So that's a win for you. That's my first missed pick.
Yeah. Just like yes. Moving on to the next fight. This is another one. I thought Vellante won, and so I'm scoring it. And I'm like, because Vellante did nothing in the second round. First round, Vellante hitting him hard, doing good. Minute and a half left in the first round, starts to gas. You could see slow way down. And I don't know if he got hit. Cummins hit him with something good that started slowing him down. Vellante wins round 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Round 2 comes out, does nothing. Like maybe lands 4 punches. But exhausted. Cummins coming back after the headbutt. He's picking him apart in the second round. Clear win. Maybe 10-8, I guess, considering Vellante didn't do anything, but for sure he won that round.
This still came down to a split decision.
And that last round, Cummins just hearted it out. Vellante started to fight again, but Cummins just out-hearted him.
And Cummins, as usual, always has to go to the fucking hospital after he wins, but he still has to go to the hospital because his face is fucked up.
Yeah, he had a huge
his
swollen
black
eye, and however many stitches for the headbutt. But so I was happy again that he won today because I forgot. For some reason, I thought Vellante got the nod. But yeah, Patrick Cummins, I scored it for him. At least 2 rounds. Moving on to Bermudez versus Darren Elkins. Dennis Bermudez versus Darren Elkins.
This was a good fight, too.
Yeah. Elkins was able to impose his wrestling. And
a bit more.
Bermudez constantly got up, so he wasn't able to do a whole lot with it. But yeah, as far as, let's see here. 3 takedowns. He did attempt 10 versus 6 attempts. On Bermuda's size, he only got 1. And and a couple submission attempts. Yeah, it was a good fight for sure. And, you know, watching it again, I thought Elkins won it. But it was another close, like, what was this? A split.
Another split decision.
Yeah, so it was like, definitely, I mean, if you want to see usually split decisions, good fight. It's tough to decide.
I think it's funny, too. Like, the main card, the card on Fox, kind of was like, I mean, even though they were good fights, split or unanimous decision, split decision, and then the last fight we'll get to.
Yeah, but still good fight. So it's like.
So that was another one. I picked Bermudez. Elkins
And
win.
I would imagine, well, I guess there wasn't much filler, but it's like I'm sure they were blurbing
so
highlights.
literally, you won 3 in a row, and it's coming down to the last fight.
And I was nervous because this was a tough pick for me.
That's
Weidman was on a slide. Now he thinks he's championship material. Gastelum's been surprisingly doing pretty good against Tim Kennedy and
Gastelum
two
still
retired
good
fighters
in this
basically.
fight. He
he
dropped
cracked him, man.
Chris in the first round. Just dropped him.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it, but he dropped him, and then I just got out grappled after that.
Weidman went to Weidman just turned on the wrestling and being a much larger guy.
Dude,
guy that's talking about going to light heavyweight
versus 5'9".
Yeah. Well, before the fight, they were like, he's been, you know, he might be going up to heavyweight. So he's
light heavyweight.
I mean.
And then Gastelum after the
Gastelum's a
fight,
170 fighter.
Yeah, it goes, I think I should go back down to 170.
Sure.
It's like, make the weight.
He's got to, I mean,
no one cares. We want to see another person at 170.
Yeah. You're not going to do, he's not, I mean, he won Tim Kennedy and fucking, what's his face? Brazilian Vitor. But it's like, okay, those are also two guys that are, one's retired, the other one's, you know.
Has one fight left.
Yeah, and it's like, versus Weidman, who's a lot larger. And, but yeah, if Gastelum at 170 with that boxing.
And we've seen it before, but.
I mean, he just definitely did well. He knocked Weidman on his ass in the first round. And when it did stay on the feet, he was piecing him up pretty good. Weidman had a little bit in the second round where he started to land, but then fucking bullet dodger, you know, Weidman lands like 5, and then all of a sudden Gastelum's just head movement, and Weidman's missing everything.
Yeah.
And then Gastelum comes back and pops him a bunch of times. Good fight, but yeah, Weidman definitely won it.
Third round, he gets the arm triangle choke. Just dominating grappling.
Yeah. I mean, Gastelum was doing a good job. He was getting back up, using the fence, and then
great fighter.
Weidman kept him.
I just wish the kid would get his weight together.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't had to deal with that because he's been fighting at 185. So I hope
after every 185,
and I'm sure
he
he's
goes, my real home's at 170.
Sure, but it's like, if you're going to be given like these old guys, like Weidman was the biggest test for him.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to be fighting Anderson, which is another old retired fighter that's should be easy for him to get because speed-wise, Gastelum's going to fucking pick him apart. But yeah, Weidman's one of those guys who's still in the mix despite losing. And I do not agree with I just beat Kevin Gastelum, so I deserve to fight for the belt.
Lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Weidman.
It's like, oh, you beat a guy that's only beat retirees, and he's not even, he's like so small. So small compared to you.
You beat up your younger brother. Good job.
Yeah. I wonder, give him Jacare. Have they fought yet?
I don't believe so.
Where are we at here?
Middleweight.
Well, they could rematch Yoel. Jacare. Anderson, no, don't want to see that. Brunson. Because Gastelum was ranked 8th.
Yeah.
So, you know, so Brunson's 7. He's moving up. If he beats Brunson, you know, if he looks good against Brunson, I'd like to see Brunson fight him. Or Jacare. I don't get why Weidman's 5 now. Oh, he was 5. He was 5. Yeah. So I guess Jacare. Give him Jacare. That's a good one. Yeah. We'll see if that happens. Who's Rockhold fighting?
No one.
I thought they had.
Maybe that David Branch.
Did they have?
I think it's David Branch.
Okay. Yeah. Because they did. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I was like, I don't know who the fuck David Branch is.
He's
But
the
it's good.
guy that just came
I'm
over.
glad.
And he had 2 belts. And
Another guy that, has been out for a while, and he probably's like, give me a warm-up fight. Or, maybe that's what he's thinking.
He hasn't fought since losing to
It's been over a year.
Bisping, right?
Yep. All he's been doing is whining about Bisping. It's like, well, get in there and fight or do something. You just can't lose and then whine about
But
it.
I beat him once before.
It's like, talk about sour grapes. So fun card, a lot of decisions, but still fun fights. Hopefully Gastelum goes to 170 and just sticks with it.
Hopefully he makes weight. Stop being a fatty fat fuck.
Yeah, I mean, he has. It's unlike Hendricks, who went up a weight class and still couldn't make weight anymore. At least he's been making that weight. So before we move on to our picks for UFC 214, go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/inspireddisorder. And that's where you can donate $1 or more. Yeah. And you can do that. Donate there. And support the podcast and everything else. Go patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
Inspire yourself.
Yes. Or if you just want to buy art, go to inspireddisorder.com. All right, moving on to UFC 214. Next Saturday, July 29th, 2017, Cormier versus Jones 2 from Anaheim, California.
This is Jones' first fight since he beat OSP.
Right. This is Daniel Cormier's fight since not making weight when he defended his belt. Towelgate. So I guess because in California, they started the early weigh-ins, and then now for this one, I think especially for Cormier's benefit, they made him weigh in a month out to see where they're at a month out, and probably multiple times leading up to it.
And then, I guess the next day they can't gain too much weight. They have
they have to. I don't know how the details of it, but
I've read through
new
it once,
protocol
but
that's pretty strict.
Good.
For sure. Cali. So let's move on to this card here. And since you won, you get to choose who picks first.
12 fights.
So we are going to start from the Fight Pass early prelims, take turns picking. So only half the time you might be happy with the fighter that you're left with. Three championship belts. Woodley's legacy is on the line for his third title defense against Damian Maia, finally getting a shot at the title. We got Tanya Evinger being offered up to Chris Cyborg for, just a tough broad to take it. Lawler's back from losing his belt against Cerrone, who had blood infections and all kinds of shit, so they had to move this fight back. Manawa's there just in case Jones and or Cormier fall out. But he's going up against Ozdemir, who's fucking...
You go first.
Okay. Starting off with the first fight of the night. Joshua Berkman versus Drew Dobert. Boy, oh boy. Berkman's a tough mofo, but I think I'm going to go with the Dobes.
Yeah, I would have.
Drew Dobes. I think Berkman's just, they both have pretty decent amount of fights, but Berkman's for sure got at least twice as many. He has almost as many losses as Dober has wins. All right. Cool. Starting off 155. Moving on to the next fight of the night. We have Jared Brooks versus Eric Shelton.
The Monkey God. Okay.
The Monkey God Brooks. I wonder if he jumps up on the cage. He's a big fan of the
very equal in a lot of things.
125 fighters.
About the same amount of
fights. A little bit more success Brooks' way, being undefeated.
I think I'm going to go Brooks.
All right. probably would have taken him, but I don't know. Based on a guess. The feature bout for the Fight Pass prelims, Kaylin Curran versus Alexandra Albu. And I'm going with Alexandra Albu. Curran, I think, has maybe only won once in the UFC. She's one of the cute fighters that keep fighting that don't really do very well. And from what I think I heard on the broadcast, Alexandra is like she's undefeated, but she's also like
she's like a Russian Muay Thai champion or something.
Yeah, she's got some credentials going into it. So for sure, I'm
it's
pretty
exciting
comfortable
to see
with
any
that.
new girls.
Oh, absolutely. They bring it, man. They bring it. And, Curran can always get better.
She could.
How many fighters have a
4-4?
just equal?
I
mean, probably
like
almost.
Mark Hunt?
Mark Hunt's close. He's getting there for sure. All right, so moving on to the first fight of the FXX prelims. Good luck finding it. Get Fight Pass. Fuck cable. Andre Touchy-Feely versus Calvin Qatar. This is me?
No.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You're going shadow person, right?
No.
God damn it. Why not?
Because Qatar?
Sure. I mean, I'm going with him. He's got a better record.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I've also seen Feely fuck some dudes up, so.
For sure. Yeah.
I've never seen Qatar. I've still never seen Qatar.
It's all right, man. Albini fucking destroyed it for me. Brian Ortega, T-City, baby, versus Renato Moicano.
2 guys that haven't lost.
Right. Number 8, number 9 in the featherweight divisione.
Tough division.
I'm going T-City, baby. Give me that triangle.
Ortega.
All right. Moving on to the next fight of the FXX preliminary bouts. We have ourselves Renan Barão versus Aljamain Sterling. Barão, former champion, kind of not won in a while, very spotty, I think, after he lost.
This fight's a catchweight fight.
Because they didn't
Barão,
think
it's another
California.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not even.
I'm pretty sure in California was
weight.
the one where he passed out the day before his fight in the tub and hit his head.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, you gotta prove yourself. Versus Aljamain Sterling, hot prospect, hasn't really performed
looked great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of him
lost
just
to,
riding.
Well, he came in and fought Caraway. Caraway out wrestled him. He couldn't fucking deal with it. And then I don't know. It hasn't been great.
But who knows where Barão's head's at? He didn't look that great.
I think Sterling did win his last fight.
Barão
if I
did
remember.
not look that
Is this
great.
Me?
No, it's me.
Okay. Yeah, Barão's been, but yeah, it's 2 kind of fighters that are looking unimpressive for different reasons.
I'm still gonna go Barão.
I'm good with that. Totally good with that.
Because Sterling, I think Sterling's a couple times when he's fucked me.
Sure, I get that. But Barão's fucked people. Somebody's been stuck with Barão and been losing. All right. So moving on to the feature bout. That's not even the feature bout. Oh, this is the feature bout. Shut the fuck up. Ricardo Lamas, the bully, versus Jason Knight, Hick Diaz.
Hick Diaz, I love it.
Is this you? This is me.
This is you.
Fuck, man. I gotta go with Jason Knight, bro.
Oh, shit.
This is gonna be a fucking insane fight. I don't think it's possible to really know who's gonna win this. Jason Knight's been fucking really fun to watch and just finding ways to win.
Great on the feet, good on the ground.
Amazing shit talker inside the ring. Super Jesus freak, but, whatever. Happens. It's that Hick Diaz, man, all day.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Let's go Lamy Lamas.
Yeah, I'd be fine with either one, but I'll go with my fandom over. So moving on to a light heavyweight division.
2 big guys that are going to try to knock each other out.
Jimmy Manuwa versus Volkan Ozdemir.
And I got to go Manuwa on this one.
Why, just because he's literally only there to fill in? Although Ozdemir's been knocking motherfuckers
he
out.
has.
He's kind of been like...
But I also like the fact that he's got like 4 inches of reach on him, and he's just as fucking devastating, if not more.
Yeah. I'm good with Ozdemir, though, considering I'm stuck with him. Not a bad guy to get stuck with, considering he knows how to finish fights, too. All right. Moving on to... There's going to be some fucking crazy fights.
This is going to be a good card.
Or there's going to be some stinkers where nobody wants to... Or they just grapple the whole time. Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cerrone. Like, every time it's like, oh, this is going to be a grappling clinic. And they just... You see a shitty stand-up fight.
Now, this fight was supposed to happen last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It just got pushed back a little bit. Donald had some sort of injury.
I think he had, like, staph infection.
That's not good.
Yeah. And then he had staph infection, and then there was some other thing. But the staph infection clearly was the thing that stuck in my brain. There's like, that's probably... So he might be diminished in this. This is me?
Yep.
Although Robbie Lawler has been in a lot of wars. This is going to be a fucking crazy fight.
Lawler hasn't fought since losing his belt.
I know, and that was a crazy fight. Well, I guess, no. He got knocked out in that fight. That was the fights prior to that.
It was
he had like 2 fight of the year fights at the end of the year, and then his first fight at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Condit and then
Rory.
Oh, man, those are great fights. This could be another one. Who's going to do it? I mean, Cerrone, if he gets hit in the liver, he's donezo. That's the only, like, kind of weak spot as far as both of these guys taking damage.
Plus, there's some fights he comes into and just didn't himself.
For sure. Which, if
when he fought 2 banjos for the belt,
I don't know how long
he didn't
it
even
takes
look
to
like
recover.
he knew how to fight. He just walked in there and just got beat up. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why didn't Cowboy show up?
Yeah. It's, yeah, that's it's a worry. Versus, like, is Cerrone going to knock out Lawler? Because that's what he's going to have to do.
Yeah.
Or go to a decision.
He
Maybe might
drop
submit
him and
him.
submit him.
Yeah, it's true.
I see this.
Which, it's coming off of basically what could have been a knockout.
Yeah.
Just instead of going down, it just goes for submission. Fuck, man.
I was glad I didn't have to.
I love both
It
of
really
these
took me a
guys,
while
too.
to figure out. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't want to pick that one. I don't want to pick.
Do you have one that you'd lean towards? Not, you don't have to tell me clearly, but
This
with
was
this one,
This one was a coin flip for me, but there's one person I'm leaning more towards.
yeah. Fuck, man.
But right after I picked it, I might go, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in this fight. It could be a crazy fight.
Robbie's from the
They can knock each other out.
Donald's from the United States.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I know Lawler is at a different camp now because Black Zillions no longer exists, and I think he's not even training with those old coaches.
Jumped around.
True, but I don't know if that's a
he
good
was
thing
back
or not.
with.
Because he was doing good. He was staying there, and that's when he was on the run.
I mean, he was at the original Militage camp at a Bettendorf.
Yeah, but that's not a camp that exists anymore.
No.
He just, like, kills camps.
I'm a camp killer.
He's like, don't come over to Jackson Wink, guys.
I think he was at American Top Team for a little bit, too. And moved down to the Black Zillions.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of something that might help me decide more. Man, the fact I would lean towards Cerrone if he wasn't just sick and who knows. That's the thing that makes me scared to pick Cerrone. Otherwise, I'd pick Cerrone just because he's generally pretty good active. He hasn't had that long a layoff. Robbie Lawler's been out for a while. I don't know how he comes back from being off for a while. And I don't know why he took so much time off. Injuries.
You don't know?
Big question.
2 giant question marks on the screen right now.
Motherfucker.
Choose your poison.
I'm going to go Lawler.
That's who I went with.
Just because I just don't... Cerrone toughs through shit probably more than he should. And if he's diminished in any way from that, you're not going to survive Lawler, man. But then sometimes he enters the Matrix and lands like crazy I just don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, now we'll find out next weekend.
It could be a really boring fight. This could be a grappling competition. They're like, let's not hit each other. Like, yeah, okay, bam. All right. Oh, this is a tough one. We don't even have a picture for Tanya Eminger. That's how horrible that is. I know exactly. She's a champion. 145 champion Invicta versus Chris Cyborg. Or no, I think she's 135. I think. I think she's 135. And she's just coming up to fight. But she's game as fuck. Like pretty much everybody that gets fed to Cyborg.
Yeah.
You have to be to say yes to it.
She's going to get beat up.
Yeah. Cyborg clearly.
By mutilation. I don't know. Whatever she decides to do.
Does it get out of the first round?
No.
I wouldn't think so either, but you never know. Hopefully Evinger pulls it off. That would be amazing. Amazing fucking win.
Yeah.
I will jizz everywhere. Damian Maia versus Tyron Woodley. The Tyron, the
legacy
of Tyron. The legacy Woodley.
Tyron.
One of the only champions to vocally turn down fights for his legacy.
I only want money fights.
Yeah.
He ain't fought no one. He fought Wonder Boy twice.
I want to fight GSP.
And they were both ties.
It's like, no, get GSP's record.
Yeah.
That's how he has a legacy. Motherfucker.
You.
Why was that last one so easy and now it's back on me again? I think Tyron Woodley's taking this shit lightly. I think he's training his ass off. I don't think he's going to be as good as Damian Maia. The question is Maia going to get him down?
Woodley's a really good wrestler.
He had
but
sure.
It doesn't really translate as well.
The only
in
person
MMA.
that's done really good against Maia was Jorge, who's small for this division. He goes up, and so he's a lot faster, has better cardio than Woodley's going to have. Guaranteed Woodley's going to get exhausted 5 rounds if it's a grappling fight. And Woodley's looked boring as fuck in his last 2 fights against Wonder Boy. Granted, completely different matchup.
Well, until the last 30 seconds where he dropped him.
Yeah. I mean, the first fight, I think, had a little bit more than the second fight, but yeah, it was...
First fight was a fun fight. The second fight wasn't.
Yeah. Shit. You know what? I'm going with Maia.
Yeah,
I want Maia to win. And
I'm glad he just finally got his
Woodley
fucking
was
shot.
just commentating last night, week out from his championship, versus one of the things that Cormier said leading into his last fight against Rumble, that he needs to stop doing all the desk work like way farther out because he's a fat ass and needs to lose weight. But at least he knows that's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have that kind of distraction a week before your fight. Or it's just like, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, Maia. Come on, Maia.
I would have went with Maia as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a tricky one, but I want Maia to win, so. Motherfucker. Daniel Cormier's main event. So that was the co-main event. This is main event. Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. Hopefully I'm in a lead to where I don't need to root for DC, even though I wouldn't be able to. When there's fighters that I really don't like, I can't even.
So I went with Jones on this one. And
surprising.
I think Jones is a fucking piece of shit too, but he's a fucking awesome fighter.
Yeah, I think as far as
honestly, I feel like DC's been such a fucking a dingleberry.
Yeah.
That like he's starting to make me like Jones, where I always hated him. Like stop it, DC. You're making me like this dude. I mean, I always watch his fights, but. I was always like, he's a piece of shit. Now I'm like, God, DC's such a piece of shit. Fuck
I've loved
him up,
Jones since I saw him fight Stephan Bonner.
No, I was a giant fan of him
and it was like undercard fight, and he's just like suplexing the fuck out of
that was the
spinning back elbow. And then he 2 fights later he beats Shogun for the belt and just destroys everyone. And then had a mediocre. I mean, he at no point was OSP winning that fight.
No, Jones just wasn't doing much.
Yeah, Jones just wasn't doing much.
Way too tentative.
It was also wasn't
super
that
late.
That was a last minute replacement because
fat shit
trains at a gym where so happens just coincidentally this gym produces a lot of fighters that don't make it to the fight. But they love to talk shit. Even talk shit so much that they get pulled from a fight because they're telling a reporter how injured their back is going into a fight.
Yeah, I forgot when Kane did
Fucking
that.
idiot.
He's like, well, I'm going to have surgery
But it's
right
okay.
after this fight, though, because I'm almost dead.
Apparently he's fighting Stipe, which is an easy fight for Stipe, I think. Guy coming off of back surgery that hasn't looked great.
And also, like, within the past, 3 months, I heard a story about how he can't train barely at all. So
Kane?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. So Cormier coming into this fight
Without his
not
main
training
training
with
partner.
And fucking fuck all model dude.
Rockholds,
He's
who
not,
knows if he's even
maybe
in the
he's
gym.
in there. Maybe he doesn't seem like a guy. I mean, they seem like they're super dedicated to each other, but like he's got like such a flippant attitude about the whole thing. He's like meh, 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 whine while not doing anything in the sport. Yeah. So I hope you're right. I hope I have a devastating lead by then. But you know, it'll probably be down to the last fight. And wait, is 12 fights?
12
though, right?
fights.
So that might be a tie. That'd be horrible if I'd be so disappointed if I got the tie and Cormier wins. That would piss me off so much. All right, so starting from the bottom, I got Dober.
I got Brooks.
I got Albu.
I got Touchy Feely.
I got Ortega.
I got Barao.
I got Knight.
I got
Wait, yes.
Yes, and I have Manawa.
I got Robbie Lawler.
I got Chris Cyborg by murder.
Yeah. And I got Damian Maya.
By choking the shit out of someone. And I got John Jones
Yeah.
by being the best fucking fighter I may have ever seen in the ring.
Yeah.
So, we got that.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. That's going to be a fucking crazy card.
Yeah.
There's like
Top to bottom.
tough fights to pick. Bunch of like people that like none of them give up. They're all like, let's do this right in the middle of the fucking shit. All right, cool. So that's it, people. Those are our picks for UFC 214 from Anaheim, California. Yep. LA area. That's it. Follow Keith at Keith Spurlock 1 on Twitter. I'm at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the show on YouTube and Facebook. All the links are at InspiredDisorder.com along with artwork and Photoshop prints. And you can donate to Inspired Disorder through Patreon, patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. Help us out. Donate $1. That's it. It's a monthly donation of $1. You'll lose more change in your car or your couch cushion, so do it. That's it, everybody. Have a great week. We're out of here. Peace.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.